Running simulation.
This is the Auto Takumar 35mm f2.3, an interesting lens to say the least, and I made a video about it a while ago. You can find it here if you haven't seen it. Now, one thing I didn't talk about in that video was the little secret this lens is hiding. Not because I wanted to make a second video on a lens I love, but because I genuinely didn't know about it. So that's what I'm here to do, talk about it. All to the tune of some contemplative ambient music. Now on the surface, this appears to be your average legacy 35mm wide-angle lens. But on closer inspection, you might notice a little slit on the end element here. Now if you twist that counterclockwise, it should come loose. And if you keep turning it, the whole front element will unscrew off.
Macro mode activated.
Now removing this front element changes the optical design of the lens, and without it, you get a macro lens option, which gives this lens a little more versatility. So just how good of a macro lens is it? Well, let's find out.
Loading photographic samples.
Well, I don't think this lens becomes an official macro lens as defined, and I'm not sure exactly what the magnification ratio is. But the close focus of the lens gets cut down by half from 0.45 meters to 0.21 meters. Now, I don't think macro mode was the official intended use of this wide-angle lens, but it's an interesting option for those willing to experiment. Now, I should also mention that if you're going to test out macro mode with your lens, to obviously be very careful with that front element. It would be a real shame if you were to drop this piece of glass and break it, given how old these lenses are, so...
Photographer's discretion advised.
Now what do you guys think, based on the images you saw? Worth the risk or not? Let me know. And we'll see you next time. Garbage truck outside, making lots of noise. So question for you guys, which camera do you think this one looks better on? Do you think it looks better on the Lumix S1H? We're talking strictly aesthetics here, like the most materialistic, shallow impression, period. So S1H, I don't think it looks that great on this camera. Tiny little nose with a fat body, looks weird. All right, or the Sony. I think it looks better on the Sony, but the pictures coming out of the S1H are a little bit nicer. Just higher resolution makes it easier to test these things. 12 megapixel versus 24. Apart from testing pixel peeping, I couldn't care less. That's a wrap.